Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is the Our Turf Football Podcast. I am Dana. We have Sonia, we have Lisa, and down there in the corner, we have our dear, darling friend, Emory Hunt is going to join us today to talk about the NFL draft as he does every single year, and we love him for it. Emory, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm kind of bummed. I ain't getting no intro or nothing, man. You guys
nothing.
Just came on. Like you guys are old
get
school.
right to it.
Here's the thing. Our followers know who you are, but if you don't, for some reason, know who Emory Hunt is, he is Football Game Plan. He is the czar of the playbook. He is on CBS Sports HQ. He's everywhere. And this is your time of year, Emory. This is when you shine. And this is why I love having you on. Emory puts out this draft guide, ladies and gentlemen. That is, how many players is it this year, Emory?
This year, it is, to be honest, it is actually 1,204. Smaller than last year, but still over 1,200.
Oh my God. Insane. So sorry. I'm getting a little error message. We'll just remove that. Sorry about that. I was getting some weird error message for Facebook, as if it always is. But so Emory puts out this. You can go to your website. Give them your website, Emory.
Footballgameplan.com/2026 draft guide.
Yes, and you can send it. It is digital, ladies and gentlemen. You are not getting a hard copy. Emory and I had a whole conversation at the combine about how people want a hard copy. No, you don't. It's 1,200 players, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want a hard copy of this. But how long have you been doing this draft guide?
I've been doing the draft guide since 2020. But what's funny, on my flight to Indy, we didn't have internet. So I'm bored. So I'm going through my photos on my camera roll on the phone, just deleting those stuff. Like sometimes you may have a screenshot, and now 7-8 years later, I don't know the context. So I could delete it. So it's gone. And I saw in 2018, I created the template for the draft guide, but it shows you how long I was thinking about it to where it came out finally in 2020 because COVID had all us sitting down. So it was like, all right, I got time now to get this thing out. And I wish I would have done it sooner because it's one, what I love about doing it is it allows me to have my full-fledged thoughts out for everybody. So you can see what I think about the player, how I got to the assessment, the games I watched, as opposed to when I used to do it just on YouTube and I have in my desk here the handwritten scouting reports that I used to write the reports and then go on YouTube and just record here's my grade for this guy, right? But instead of explaining that in the comments, I was like, let me just give everybody everything right here, right there, one fell swoop. And so it also keeps me accountable. So there's no, well, I didn't say that, or you see exactly what I said and how I felt about the player. And it's cool. It's something now, with this being year 7 of the draft guide, it's like if you have this, you would have over 6,600 scouting reports. So what that means is you got a pretty good idea and gauge on everybody in the NFL, CFL, UFL. So you kind of know what other teams' strengths and weaknesses are, where they're vulnerable, where they have depth, who probably is going to win more than likely. And it helps you just have a well-rounded view of the team. And not only is this draft guide, but it is during the draft, preseason guide, postseason. So, it's free agency. So we're trying to figure out all these moving parts. It really helps you. So it's become, I'm glad I did it. I'm always proud of it. It takes 3 months for me to put together. But I'm excited when it drops.
So I know that I go back and use the guides. I have all the ones I've bought from you. They're on my laptop. And then if something comes up, I'll go back and see what you said about that player, especially like if we're playing, like if Seattle's playing against a team I don't know very well, you can kind of go look them up. So it is a fantastic reference guide, but it's also just amazing. All the different players you put in there, all the small school players, which, I love so very much. You have all of these players in there. So once again, anyone who's listening, please go download or send him the money. He will send it to you in an email of this PDF, and it is amazing. But before we get into this year's draft, Emory, I need to remind you that you are sitting amongst fans of champions, right? So like my Montana State won the national championship. My Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. But last night, congratulations to the Sonia. Her Michigan Wolverines won March Madness. Congratulations, Sonia.
Hey, it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. And see, Kate's not even here.
You're not. I know. Did you see Kate's picture though? She held up.
I did.
I thought she lost a bet.
I thought so too.
I think she did.
She had to. She had to. But it was really great. I'm proud of the guys. I actually watched the game. I can't believe I did that. I was so nervous. So nervous. I hate that. But it was so much fun.
I know. I wanted to give you a minute to gloat because you guys were real nice after both of my wins. And so I wanted to put that out there. Lisa, next year,
thank you.
Maybe some
runner up this year, Canes. I'm all right.
That's all right. All right. Well, Emory, we have a ton of questions for you. And I want to say hi to everyone in chat. Our regulars are here. I can see already. Hi, Darcy. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Big Red. Hi, everybody. So if you guys have questions for Emory, remember, come over to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on another place, come over, join the live chat. You can put the question in there. We will get to as many as we can within reason. Because we've got Emory all day. He told us before he came on, this is his 8th coach. So we want to give him a little bit of a break for sure. So Lisa is so quarterback focused. We're going to get to you in just a minute, Lisa, but I want to start more general. I want to start the 2026 draft. Now, I will tell you, there's not a ton of excitement about this draft, right? Like, it's been pretty quiet. Let's be honest. There's a lot. Even Daniel Jeremiah was on Mina's show the other day, and he's like, I don't know. They're kind of all the same. They clump together. You know, it was kind of, there's some lacklusterness. So this is what I want to know from you. We're going to have a Rufus Shaka Khan moment, right? I want you to tell me something good. Tell me something good about this draft this year.
I'm excited about it. And I think the reason why people have this perception of the draft, twofolds. Firstly, is their own fault because they spend months talking about the same 6 players. So of course you're bored right now, right? And number 2 is the fact that when we are watching these players this year, and I find myself noticing this, we're dealing with an older crop of prospects. So when you're watching these guys, you don't have the high variance-ness of a 20-year-old, player making a big play. Like, oh wow, oh man, this is gonna be cool when he gets somewhere because he got a lot of upside. You're just watching good football because you got a bunch of 23 to 26-year-olds that's been in college for a while, playing a lot of games, and so everything just kind of looks the same. So I get that sentiment because these guys are older. And when you get excited about someone, there was one prospect that was great, and I'm like, oh wow, this is gonna be one of my Emory Hunt sleeper gems. Like, I can't wait to tell everybody about this guy that is doing great. And so I grade him, and then I go to his profile to implement his info, and I'm like, this dude was born in 2000. Like, yo, what are we doing? Like, of course he's dominating. He's 26 years old. He'll be a 26-year-old rookie. He playing against 18-year-olds. Of course he's dominating. So it's like, oh, so you get that a lot where you get excited and you look, you like, oh, was a freshman in 2018. Like, what? And so it's like, oh man. So hopefully this year we're gonna be past that, right? We're gonna get more 2022s, and that's it, right? That'll be the floor. Because if I see another 2018, 19, 2020, it's like we got to get past that. And I think that's why everybody kind of has this, man, and I noticed this when I was grading linebackers, like outside is like the bell curve. You have your elite players, you have your players that need a lot of work. And then the big curve is everybody, because it's like, wow, everybody really is playing like the same way. So I get the sentiment, but I think it's also because we're dealing with an older crop of prospects. So you don't see the crazy variance, from players from player to player. And we've seen these dudes play God knows how many years in a row, albeit for 6 different teams.
Right. That was amazing during the combine. As a side note, it's like there were so many people asking, well, which teams have you played for? And man, the list sometimes with these kids, it was
Carson
like,
Beck.
holy cow, right? Absolutely. Like so many different teams. It was fascinating about that. So if you had to look at the groups, at the different position groups, this is definitely not a quarterback year. We all know that. We've heard it 1,000 times. What group really stands out to you?
I would say I say the same thing every year because until it changes, it's going to be the same. It's the receivers in a defensive backs
Okay.
because you see more 4 and 5 wide receiver sets in college. They're passing the ball 65 to 70% of the time. So these dudes have their 10,000 hours. They have that time on task. So they are more apt to step in. We used to say it takes 3 years for a receiver to come in and make an impact in the NFL. But now these rookie receivers are able to step in and play right away and play really well because they played, 1,000 plays, in the passing game over the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons. And so you're getting a talented crop of receivers. And the byproduct, you have a talented crop of cornerbacks because you need 4 and 5 DBs that get out there and cover. Your safeties are now able to cover. And so now we're seeing the, amoeba-like defense to where corners are safeties are corners. They all running the same,
cornerbacks
lane.
are linebackers. Yeah, they're
right. So everybody's built like DB, so it's kind of like, all right. So we're seeing more people with the ability to cover. So I would say the receivers and DBs are always, the last, 3 to 5 years, we've seen just consistency at like you can go all the way down. That's why I'm not worried about teams that say, "Oh, you got to take a receiver in the first round." No, you're not really. Like you can get somebody in round 5 that can ball out because that's how many receivers we are seeing that have pro level skills.
And that's interesting because Kate sent me a question for you. She couldn't join us tonight, but she sent me a question, and that was the question: like past round 1, will the wide receivers still be as good? Will they still be worthy of grabbing them in rounds 2, 3, 4? And it sounds like it would be.
I will say this too. This is on me and my little soapbox because I don't know if you remember, Dana, but I had my little list of things that were a mistake. Things that were a mistake in like number 1 is definitely speakerphone. Like with the bullet. That's like number 1 with all 65 votes in the top poll going to speakerphone. Definitely a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Then you have I think airports were a mistake because there's no rules in airports no more. So people there was I don't know if you heard the story, but so I was flying from the HBCU Legacy Bowl in New Orleans, flying back to Jersey to get ready to go to Indy, and it's 10 in the morning, like 10 a.m. local time. And everybody's, I'm still kind of tired, but it's like there's these 4 girls sitting in the aisle across from me at the concourse, and like they each have their own plate of nachos. I'm like, how you even have the taste for that?
Breakfast nachos.
Like, what are we doing? Like, so, and third would be mock drafts. So, and the reason why I say mock drafts were a mistake because folks, we see these mock drafts all the time. Everybody does them. So it gets you fixated on a mix-up of the same 32 names. So people feel like these are all the players in the draft. And, outside these 32, there's
trash.
No good. They're
trash.
Right?
Right? Like
there's good players everywhere. So
or they start dropping and they're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
This person fall. And I think people get fixated on seeing the same 4 receivers. And think that's the cutoff, but that's just you have mock draft disease, and so you got to break the mold and get back out of there. But mock drafts is not catching speakerphone. I am completely. I would not move off that.
Stay the hell. I knew you hated mock drafts. I almost joked and was like, "Hey, Emory, you want to do a mock draft?" But I knew you'd be like, "So no, we're not doing that.
No, we're not."
And I say this as I have a mock draft that I got to send in for. But I only do 1. I used to do 2, but we only gonna do 1 this year, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, it's good. All right, Lisa. I know you got your quarterback questions. Go ahead, Carolyn. Do it.
What I like is what we were talking about going into it, like you were talking about. For the first month leading up, it's the same players, right? It's Cornell Tate. We're talking about wide receivers. We're talking about quarterbacks with Fernando. What I like is when we get to about right now, like right a week after the draft, all of a sudden we see players coming out of left field. Like right now, the whole talk to me, watching the quarterback, is Ty Simpson. All of a sudden, he's a first-round quarterback. 4 weeks ago, we're going late second, early third, maybe for him. Now, all of a sudden, and so I laugh because it's agents, it's just people, and we've had so much movement with coaches. So I love, everybody knows John Harbaugh's style. Okay, we're going to see what the Giants, let's see what he did. They're going to go Ravens, where some of the new coaches, like we obviously know where the Raiders are going, stuff like that. So I love the fact that some of these guys just don't know. They're just like trying to scramble. So I did want to talk a little bit about Ty Simpson and fit. And, obviously you're right up on him and stuff like that. Without the NFL analysis right now, I personally had him dropping to the second round. I had him dropping to the Steelers in the second round because I just love that fit. I think Mike McCarthy with him, because there's so much upside to him and we just don't know. I think that's the thing. There's to me, a dark element with him. He's like a dark horse almost. But what does he mimic to me? I mean, I'm trying to kind of think of a quarterback that he mimics me. I don't have one because I wasn't that impressed with him at Alabama. He just seemed like a mediocre quarterback to me. So I kind of wanted to get your insight on what you're thinking about all the hype now for him. And obviously fans will follow the hype because it's like, if he starts dropping, it's like, oh my God, he's dropping. Why is he dropping? He's a first round job. We should get him. And the fans go through a frenzy. I still think he's going to go second, third round. I don't see him going number one.
It's your assessment is not wrong. You gotta firstly, I'm on my little mini soapbox again. It is a TV show. We can't go in. We got to create the antagonist. We got to create the drama. So we're not getting it from Fernando Mendoza. He is like a robot. So you're not getting nothing from him. It's almost like, all right, this is too corny. We can't create drama out of this. So we got to create the villain. Insert Ty Simpson, right?
Alabama.
People heard Ty Simpson's name during the season when he was playing well, and then he dropped off, and then he was like, all right, kind of like all these other quarterbacks that they spent all last season talking about the 2026 class. And, here we are, the 2026 class. Now they don't like the 2026 class, right? So Ty Simpson's a name that the layperson has heard. And now you got to keep talking about him to where, to your point, when he doesn't go second overall or in the top 10, oh my God, he's falling. Now they got the camera zoomed in on his face,
Yeah.
Oh, look at him, sad, so we've seen this done before, but I feel like this is, people that are in it, us that are in it, we know that this is par for the course, but the layperson that just tunes into the draft as a TV show is like, oh wow, this is crazy. He's supposed to be one of the top players, and he's not. They're not picking him. What's the problem? So I feel like his game on the field kind of mimics a Mac Jones.
I was going to say that, but I just didn't want to go that beige with him. I'm just trying to.
But that's kind of what he's a little more athletic than Mac Jones. I feel like he started to see what I liked about Ty Simpson in the beginning of the season was actually in the game against Florida State when they were getting their butts kicked. And I was like, man, he's the only one out there that still cares. He's competing, he's scrambling, he's trying to find a way to make plays. And then he started to play well. The Missouri game, he had some great throws, some hospital throws. I think he killed one dude out there. So outside of that, he was really good. Then it just kind of fell off. And now this is also the part of where I people act like we don't have video of you saying what you said. So all season long, you told us about Anthony Richardson. Oh, see, this is why, the 13 starts. Now you get a dude that has 15 starts, and you bypass that now. It's like now you hyped him up to be but wait, I thought you said you need to have a minimum starts. And so it's all drama. It's all, you can't take the bait. You can't keep buying from Acme. You gotta understand that they're trying to fool you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you realize that, and because see what they've done to you, Lisa, it made you think you crazy. It's like,
yeah, because I'm not. I said the same thing. I'm like, what? Am I missing something from this
Let me
kid?
double check and make sure I'm not tripping.
Right. And I thought that because I'm the same thing. Like I said, Matt Jones was in my head. I just didn't want to brand the kid that beige because it's like, oh my God.
And it's not. And it's nothing wrong with Mac Jones. Like Mac Jones can start, win some games, but you don't take
management.
Now, hindsight, you don't take Mac Jones that high. But so, and here's my thing. Based on what I said about the mock drafts, it's like you can find starters outside of the first round. So it's
yes.
They can do in the fourth round and start. We've seen second round to undrafted quarterbacks start and win a lot of games for a team. It's okay. Not everybody can go in the first round. It's fine.
And a lot of times when you look at that, it's fine with me because I look at it the same. I got my notes. I know what I see. I'm like, okay, I think it'd just be an upside for maybe Pittsburgh. But the kid that I was really high on is Cole Pathan. I would take him ahead of Ty Simpson just because of what I saw with him in the Senior Bowl, his upside. I love his size. I mean, and the kid just doesn't stop. Like you said, he can take hits. He's in the pocket. I'm going there later round. I'm going with him. I'm going to see what the kid has, because where do you think our cutoff is as far as like, well, this is we're in the maybe end of the third, fourth. Is that a risky pick? Would that satisfy somewhere where he would land third or fourth? Would that be a risky pick to you, or would that be that's not a bad pick if the kid can, get him, move him ahead? He reminds me of Josh Allen so much when I was watching him at the Senior Bowl. It was incredible.
My philosophy on drafting is no different than when you was at the park or the playground. You pick who you want to pick for your team, who you think you're going to win. So if you feel like he's going to help you win, take him. And I think a lot of teams get caught in the perception of what everybody else may think about their selection. Certain teams don't care. Certain teams like, this dude's going to help us win. You know, we don't care where you had him graded or what the value of the position is. Like, this dude can help our team. That's all I'm getting paid to worry about is this football team I'm taking. And it's funny where we've seen over time, like you could mention a Cole Pathan, you could mention a Taylor Green, you could mention these guys that find ways to play above the X's and O's.
Right.
And every Sunday, when your team is out there getting beat by someone that can create off script, now you upset because like you don't have one, but you had a chance to take one in the draft, but you chose what you thought what everybody would want. And there was power in numbers, but there's also mass suicide too. So you gotta pick and choose you know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna have this job, I'm going down with the ship how I want to go down with the ship.
And that's a good point, because like I said, it's the same thing with me. If you think you got a franchise guy and he's going to win for you, I'm all in. So it's the same thing.
True. Right. So I was listening to Sirius XM NFL radio the other day, and I can't tell you which prospect on. They've had a million of them on there, right? And so I couldn't tell you which one it was I was listening to, but they had asked him about mock drafts, and he's like, I don't look at mock drafts. I don't let anyone tell me where they think I'm going to go, what round. If I'm on a team by the end of day 3, I'm good. And I thought that's kind of what you have to be at this point, right? Because how many times has it been proven over and over again? It almost does not matter where you are drafted. It only matters if you make the team, and how many first rounders aren't still on a team in 4 years. You know what I mean? So I think that's really, it's a really good point. Sonia, what you got?
So my question kind of talks about what deals with what Emory was talking about earlier, and how we've seen freshmen or, rookie quarterbacks come out, or rookie players come out, and they've played for like 6 different teams in this newfangled NIL era. How do you think that that's affecting their draft status?
It's twofold. It's affecting their draft status because they are now, coming in with confidence, and they're not, hand with, oh, please, I would just love to. They don't care now. They like, I can come in. I got money already. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, especially the high level quarterbacks. But they also staying longer, so they're getting more time on task. Now, if they're not bouncing around, they're really getting, good time on task, as opposed to popping around in different programs every year where you don't have any stability in your process. But in terms of the NFL, I think for the NFL, they have to try to do something in terms of making it a little bit more regulated, because you may have a situation where the kid, you don't want, the NFL does not want to become the NBA in terms of where it's a player run league. So the NFL, seeing how the players run college football, I think it's going to be up to them to try to, they try to stay away from it, let the NCAA do it, but the NCAA is just the name in name only. They don't really do anything. And so I think NIL has kind of helped quarterbacks stay longer, but it also kind of creates this quarterback to where you don't know how much coaching they're getting at the collegiate level, because in some cases they are highly paid, and they know they are going to go to the league, and they can do what they want because they can always dangle, oh, I'm a transfer. Before the coach had the power, now the player has the power. And that ruins the whole dynamic of, is this dude really getting better? You know what I'm saying? Or he's just playing a lot. And so when you get to the NFL, case in point, you have a Garrett Nussmeier, right? You have all of these quarterbacks that have played 6 years, 5-6 years, that is kind of look the same as a freshman as he has done this year. And you trying to talk yourself into, well, is he a guy? Did he really get better? Or he just played a lot of ball because he was in college a lot? And I think that's what we're seeing. And so it's going to be up to the NFL to try to, fix that, or try to put some guidelines in place. And I just hope kids, when they come out of high school, they see it in terms of, hey, if I just have a consistent voice, I'm going to accelerate my growth, as opposed to going pop around to different opportunities, because you're not really getting better. You're just playing a lot longer at many different places.
It's fascinating. There's all kinds of things that have to change, I think, when it comes to that. There in every sport. It seems to be kind of bizarre at this point. Did you have anything else, Sonia?
No, I'm good for now.
No? Okay. Well, then I want to get into the meat of this, because I want to talk. I have a couple of random questions. We have a few questions from our chat too. But first and foremost, I heard a little rumor, and I want your take on it, that it was possible that the Las Vegas Raiders might consider trading out of that first pick. What do you put in? Do you put any credence into that? Do you think, no, that's insane, they're going to take the quarterback? What do you think?
If the Raiders trade out the first overall pick because they brought in Kirk Cousins.
Listen.
It just
listen.
Sub out the Edmonton Elks and put the Raiders in the CFL. Just swap. Because that's just foolish. Because I understand if you still had Geno Smith and you improve the offensive line in free agency like you did, and you want to get King's ransom for that first overall pick, that makes more sense. But we saw Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. We saw what that looked like. That rumor is, it probably was put out there by someone on speakerphone at the airport.
Yes, it was in an airport.
Nachos.
So that is false on its face, based on the logic of Kirk Cousins being the starter. That is total bad rumor. Now,
I heard that. I busted out laughing, and then I heard it a couple more times. I was like,
no.
Are you kidding?
It makes no sense. And now, because again, it only makes sense if they still had Geno, because you knew Geno Smith was, at this juncture of his career, better than Kirk Cousins, and he got sacked a lot.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is. Lisa, he's better than Kirk. Come on.
Better than Kirk Cousins. The idea of Kirk Cousins until he gets out there and plays, he's like, yo, what are we doing? And so I get the whole maneuvering and getting a gang of picks, but you did a good job in free agency on both sides of the ball. You got your guy Max Crosby back. Man, take Mendoza and just go play ball.
Yep. Just take your blessing and move along.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Totally. All right. Now, you are known for your sleepers, right? You are known for the ones that are going to pop up and surprise us. Give us a handful of people that we should be ecstatic about if our team grabs them at some point in this draft.
This is frustrating, because you're right. This is usually, why I live. This is my thing. But all these dudes transferring up to school, so it's taking away the small school sleeper, right?
You can take mine. You can take mine if you want.
I'll tell you who. I'll tell you the one dude that I've called games for his entire career at Morgan State, and it's Eric Hunter, the linebacker. 6'3", about 230, runs 4.4. He ran 4.4 at his pro day, or at the HBCU Showcase Pro Day just last weekend in DC. And so he's checking all these boxes. I saw him at the American Bowl. He did a great job there against the upper level competition, covering and catching interceptions. And then he didn't even have to go to the HBCU Legacy Bowl, but he went anyway. He performed well there, catching picks in practice and everything. And even played in the game, again, showing you he didn't have to do it because he had already played in the All-Star game. He did a great job there. So that's one. And I called a lot of his games at Morgan State, just a phenomenal talent. And I would also throw out Chris Hilton, the wide receiver for LSU. I've talked about him all January because I followed him all January because he was at all these damn All-Star games. He played in 4.
4? Holy crap.
We get to the Hula Bowl, which was in Daytona, and he's out there with no equipment because LSU shipped his equipment to the American Bowl, which was in Orlando the following week. So he's like, so they had like 12 players that had their equipment not arrive on time. So they had to create a separate period for these guys without pads to get reps. So Chris Hilton out there just balling, just wide receiver, boom. Then he goes to the American Bowl the next week, and his, obviously his equipment is there. He's balling out there. So and I talked to him in between. He was like, "Yeah, I got to play in all these All-Star games because I didn't really do much production-wise at LSU, so I need these. I'm gonna play in all of them." So he goes to the American Bowl. He balls out. He then gets the invite to the East-West Shrine Bowl, and plays well there. There he gets the invite to the Combine, but then he also got the call up to the Senior Bowl. He goes to Mobile, plays there too, and then goes to the Combine and does everything. So that's somebody you bank on, and that's somebody that can help you out on special teams as a returner and also a receiver. You want those competitive guys, like again, and play. No one has ever played in 4 All-Star games except him. He was the one. And there's one dude that I'm a big fan of that I saw at the Hula Bowl, because it's a true small school sleeper that at a small school. It's Ryan Chernecki at Kutztown, offensive tackle, 6'7", 314, checked all the boxes athletically at the pro day. But when you go and watch him at the Hula Bowl, all throughout the practices, he was doing a great job matching up against, Power 5 opponents and, players and stuff like that. So he looked the part, played the part, definitely a small school sleeper, a true small school sleeper in every sense of the word.
All right. So our chat room has a couple of questions for you. And so we're going to start with this one from Big Red. It says, do we have predicted destinations for Brandon Sis? Is that how you say that? And Jalen Kilgore. Any thoughts on those?
I'm a big, I guess it's CC.
I think so, yeah.
I'm a big fan of his. Like, he's one of my top corners in the class. Kilgore is more of the combo safety guy. The guy we were kind of joking about that kind of could play safety and corner and in the slot. Big body guy. He got great ball skills. Not the fastest, but he he can match up versus tight ends and big wide receivers. He turns and finds the football. CC is someone that has the top tier athleticism and also can find the ball. So both of those guys, I would say, if I had to project from a draft, I think it all depends on when the run on certain positions go.
Right. Yeah.
He's going in round 1. I can see Kilgore going in round 2. Because I think because of CC's ability to check those boxes athletically, like super fast and twitchy and all those things, I can see him going earlier, especially if a cornerback goes high. That means, okay, well, we got to get a cornerback.
Right.
So that pushes him up in the round. So I can see him going in round 1. But Kilgore, I can see him going in round 2.
We call that positional panic.
Yep.
Yes.
It's like, it's exactly what it is. It's like positional panic. It's like, oh my God, they're taking those. We have to take them as fast as we can. It's hilarious.
Yes.
I know, exactly. All right. Let's see. This one says, Gerardo Henderson says, this upcoming draft is where you get future O-line guys, receivers, and DBs, because there are a lot of quarterbacks coming out next year. I want to know if you agree with that. Is this a good year for offensive linemen?
I think so. It's
what I read.
What I noticed about this year. My number one guard is Jalen Farmer, Kentucky. You know, and so the reason why is because when you watch him and you watch because again, everybody got mock draft disease because you only heard Vega Ione and you only heard the kid from Oregon, Pregnon, and then you heard the Miami guys, right? And converting whichever Utah player to guard, right? So, but when you watch Farmer and you look at how great he gets off the ball, how technically sound he is consistently, where his hands stay inside, he's in the chest of the defensive lineman, he's moving he's able to mirror and move with these big D tackles, he's doing everything consistently well. His teammate Joshua Braun is pretty good too as a guard. And watching Kentucky's entire offensive line, you like, yo, they got the center was good, one of the tackles was good. Both you like, why did they stink offensively? Like they had a very good offensive line. They were littered across the All-Star game circuit too. So that's one team that had good offensive linemen. Obviously, Miami with the two tackles. I think people sleep on.
Thank you.
The big tall tackle. They sleep on him. Like it's funny. It was funny to watch how it reminded me of in '96 when the Bills were playing the Jaguars in the playoffs, and at that time Bruce Smith is trying every move he has in his bag to get past Tony Baselli. And Baselli just kind of like just standing there like, all right, old man. Like that's how it was trying to get on Markel Bell. They're trying to get around Markel Bell. And it's like, there's nothing that's going to work against this dude. He's 6'9", and he got good length. And Maui Noah is a very good player that has probably the quietest feet in the class. And then you look at the center, Brockemeyer, whose dad works with us at CBS, longtime NFL player. He's good on the inside as well. It's a little bit light, but he's still technically sound. That's three linemen right there from Miami. And also there's another guard in there that I'm missing too that's really good. Then you look at Georgia Tech's offensive lineman, Rutledge, is the guard is good too. So yeah, I found that
deep class.
Yeah, deep class of guards and tackles and centers. And I feel like teams can't go wrong bolstering the inside of their, because again, and big tackle propaganda has fooled people into believing that you need a left tackle or right tackle. But really, offense is one on the interior, guard, center, guard. It's like Big Cereal got y'all thinking you need 3 meals a day. Breakfast is the most important meals of the day. Shout out to Post and Kellogg, got y'all believing that. But that's how big propaganda is. And I'm telling y'all right here, it's guard, center, guard play that's important. So if you get a guard and you get a good center, you load up on those right away.
Yeah.
It's Inez Cooper is the one that I kind of.
Inez Cooper. That's yeah. So
that's the guy that I think is, like you said, it's just quietly flying under the radar, and I think he's going to come off the board because, like I said, he's a big guy, 6'6". I think he goes 3. He's 329, 330. He's right there.
That was so impressive about watching Miami in this in the playoffs, because it was like, they're going up against A&M. They're going up a very athletic Ole Miss. They're going up against Ohio State,
right?
And so it's like, they were pushing Indiana around, and it was like, man, if that's why I was just selfishly, I wanted Fletcher to come out in the draft too. I'm a big fan of him, but it's like this offensive line is really doggone good, and that's probably why we saw the best of Carson Beck toward the back end of the season. And so, yeah, if you need an offensive lineman, get offensive lineman. I would say this is one of those drafts where you can kind of go and get your guys, starters and guys that can be valuable developmental guys in rotation as well.
We had another question actually about Carson Beck, so I'm glad that you said that. Does Carson Beck get drafted before round 4?
I think so. I think so. I think because, teams are big on what they saw last. So they saw him in the playoffs, and they'll say, okay, well, he looked the part. He was making plays above the X's and O's. I was even impressed with him in the Ohio State game and running, like something that he hadn't really done. Like he'd take off and then he'd lower his shoulder. I didn't understand the last pass he threw. That was the one thing where you like when you watch him throw the ball, then because you're watching everything is we're in studio, breaking down the game, and we have to go once the game over. So you're watching. So he makes the end of the throw, and I'm like, all right, Dang, he got what? Wait a minute. Oh, second down? Like they had like 40 something. Like what was he doing? Like they had like all this time.
But that's it though. What was he doing? I mean, if you're analyzing, you're gonna break that down.
It was like, yo,
I don't want that trash. I mean, this is you see this kid ball out. He throws it, and I know they're like laughing, and I made a joke when he was at the combine because they're like, "Oh, Carson Beck's out here throwing dimes." I'm like, "Oh, sure, throw dimes now," you know. But I think everybody in the country was just shocked. I was shocked. I'm sure you guys in the studio were shocked. Why are you not throwing that ball to the back of the end zone, piling? You are a 17-year veteran in the college football, and you're throwing that trash. I was stunned. I was just absolutely stunned by that throw.
I thought it was 4th down with 3 seconds left. He just had to get rid of the ball. But when I saw it was second down, I'm like, oh.
Emory, he still didn't give his guy a chance. That's what I'm saying. He didn't give him any chance.
Of all the throws you could have made, that like of all the options that because I'm a big Dateline guy, so it's like, man, out of all the options you chose,
you went.
Killing your wife is the one you landed on. Like that's
the one that's going to land you in the 6th round, baby. That's what's going to put you in the 6th round.
Listen, Emory, I have to warn you. Lisa's going to the combine next year. She's going to corner you in a corner and like have these conversations with you, just so you know.
Listen, I'm evasive. Like I told I'm like Sherman Hemsley when he under the intro to Amen. I'm walking straight in and straight to the back. I'm not stopping nobody.
For nobody.
You gonna see me walking and he must be going somewhere. Yep, I'm going right to the back and out the door and back to the hotel.
That's all, Lisa. I gotta get around her. I gotta get around.
Oh my gosh. Emory, we have kept you longer than I said we would, and I appreciate your time so very much.
Yes.
So we're gonna let you get out of here. Everyone, this is Emory Hunt. Once again, owner of a Football Game Plan, Czar the Playbook, and he's on CBS Sports HQ. And you can go to his website, which is footballgameplan.com and hit /2026 draft guide to get his 1,200 player draft guide for this year, so you can know exactly who your team drafted. Emory, thank you so much. The rest of us are going to hang out so we can wrap this up, but I wanted to let you get out of here because I know you've had a long day. Thank you so much. And we're so lucky. You've been a friend of ours for so long, and we just absolutely adore you. So we appreciate your time.
I enjoy just being able to shoot the with you guys.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no professionality here.
Emory.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, Emory. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Emory.
Oh my God, I love him. He's my absolute favorite. He's so funny. His stories at the combine, he'll come over and chit chat with us, and he does chit chat. Don't think that he just walks clear to the back, but he does come and chit chat. He's the best, absolute best. And honest to God, the thing with Emory is he goes to every single All-Star game.
Yes,
he spends the whole time there. He takes absolute crazy notes. His notebooks are insane. So get this draft guide, you guys. It'll be the best $20 you've ever spent, and it gives you more information than you could ever imagine with for each player, including the small schools, including the kids that you're going to get in the 5th, 6th, 7th round.
Right,
they're in there.
He pays attention, you know. When and I've been with him several times now in Mobile, and when you watch him and watch his work ethic when they're going, you'll see all the cameras pointed to the right. You know, of the star players that are there, like he said, the hype players everybody's looking at. He'll have he's looking clear across the field at another little group that's going, and you just see his pen going because he's writing notes at that player that nobody's paying attention to.
Yeah,
except maybe a few guys, and that's what you want. I mean, as somebody that watches scouts and scouts, they're not watching the hype like he said. They're getting their notebooks on everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the hype's there for us and stuff like that. And like I said, it's no drama this year. They're just trying to find it because now it just came out. I think Dana, somebody posted Mendoza's not even going to the draft.
Yep.
And the thing is his mom, she's not well, so she doesn't travel well. So he's staying home. I mean, there's just nothing you can find about this kid that you want to cause drama. He does everything right. I mean, he's staying home for his family. His grandmother's older. His mom has MS. She can't travel. I mean, it's just you got to root for this kid because he does.
I'm telling you, there seems to be a lot of those this year too, which is, it makes it so much more fun, right? And so I feel really bad. Big Red should have gotten a Spencer Rattler check going whenever
we should have.
And let me tell you this, Coach, because Coach is mad at us, ladies.
Uh-oh.
He says he had no questions because he's late and no one told him. Coach, this show has been posted for a week and we did all the promos all day. So I'm sorry that you missed it. I'm sorry that you were late, but you can always go back to our YouTube channel and watch the beginning of it. So Sonia, I want to know from you, what do you want the Lions to do this year?
I want the Lions to do something with defense, but you know what? Their number one thing is their offensive line. They got a tool.
Well, you got a deep draft though, so you could probably play around. You can play a little bit.
True.
We can, but we need an offensive line. I think Frank Ragnow retiring was probably, and just out of the blue that he did. Yep. I think that was the thing that hit the most, that hit the hardest.
And they got centers. There's 2 or 3 centers. Usually, like you said, even when Ragnow came in, he was like he was the number 1 center, I believe, that year, or when you got him. But this one, you got 3 that are coming out. That
there's a bunch,
but it kind of makes it, like with me, it's kind of nice because it's like what he said. If you're looking for that, you can still kind of maybe roll the dice on somebody early if you're afraid somebody will pick them off the board, and kind of play around with that. That's kind of what I like about this draft, the way they're doing it.
I'm looking this up for you. So who has the most picks? Do we guys know off the top of your head?
Steelers have a lot of. I think the Steelers.
I think there's
quite a few. Is it Miami?
Yeah, it is the Steelers with 12.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Including 5 in the top 100.
Yep. That's why I said you can play around a little bit. So if you wanted to pull a rabbit out of your butt, you know.
The Patriots, the Browns, the Eagles, they have 11. There's a lot. And then there's Seattle that has 4. They won't stay at 4, though, I promise. I don't even think they're picking at 32. I don't even know. It's like they might not pick until the 3rd round for all I know. But so we'll see.
Jesus, you think you're going to trade back that many times?
Well, here's the thing. And Lisa, this is a point I wanted to bring up with both of you. This is what a lot of people call a lunch pail draft, right? This is the guys that come into work every day. You're filling out the back end of, your team. These are the guys that are talented and can play if one of your, blue chippers get hurt. I feel like this is a great draft to get those players that sit on your team for 10 years and they're good when you need them and they're great and they can work their way up. I feel this is kind of that lunch pail meat and bones draft. Do you guys think it's the same?
Yeah, I feel like
I do too. I think the same thing. I think it's deep in so many areas to where I just, like you said, I just feel like it's almost like a gamble that you can kind of, take a chance on somebody and fill needs, especially, teams. But when you look at the Seahawks, obviously they're the reigning Super Bowl champs. So,
yes, we are.
Yeah, you are. So it's like right now it's just filling some holes and bring some young guys in to, keep the roster fresh and keep going. Much like a lot of other teams.
There's a lot of teams that need that. They need that. Because you see these injuries, Sonia, that these teams get hammered. Okay, San Francisco, your Lions, so many teams that just get hammered. They don't have the talent in the backside to fill in.
Right,
afterwards.
Exactly.
This could be their draft.
And there's going to be a lot of fillers too that you're going to, and what's going to be more important about this draft, and I'll say it right now, is the end of this draft, the free agent signings that they're going to, I mean, they just scramble at signing people, right? I mean, it's like a free for all. It's almost funner to watch that than it is the draft, because it's like, they're all fighting each other for all these players that didn't get drafted that,
I love free agents.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
It's like so cool. And they're so motivated.
Yeah. And they are, because they didn't get drafted. So they're pissed.
Yeah. So they have a chip on their shoulder.
And like I said, you got a lot of coaches now that, besides Jerry Jones, I mean, you're looking at a lot of these coaches where you're not paying all-star players now that much. You're trying to, I think Miami's learned a lesson. This whole regime now, we have a GM that is just draft minded. He just wants to build through a draft and just constantly love rotating the roster and competition. And we haven't had that down here in a long time. we're not paying one guy $140 million. You're kind of trying to spread the money around to build a team. And I love that about him. I love that. So
I think too, with having so many new head coaches, like we had the most new head coaches ever, right. I think 10 or 11. And so to see what they do in their new spots, there are a handful of brand new head coaches, but there's a lot of retreads too. What is Harbaugh going to do with New York? What, is Stefanski going to do with the Falcons? That's going to be really interesting. See where their priorities lie and see how that goes, to see what the Raiders end up doing after the first pick. If they keep it, they better keep it.
Well, the thing is there are several analysts that think they should trade it, that they are like absolutely all in, saying that, that this is what they think they should do. They should just look to the future and build the team with what you could get for him.
Kirk Cousins, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hang on one second.
That's all
Kirk
I gotta
Cousins.
say. That's right. So. Sonia's puppy is barking at us. I can hear him. So well, I think it's going to be interesting. And I think that this year, I think, Lisa, to your point, we're going to see even less players at the draft than we have seen in the past. That really seems to be kind of a bigger thing. I think that we're going to maybe see less. I don't know. There seems to be. I will say I watched that go and watch the Mina Kimes Daniel Jeremiah mock draft. It was really good. She basically gave him two people to pick from for each. I know. And to pick from. And there were quite a few trades. She had quite a few trades that she had thrown in that first round. So
have you done your mock yet?
I haven't.
Have you? I did one with the one I'm sorry. I wish I could plug them, but I can't. I don't remember. Good Lord. By the time the Dolphins got picked, there was like, and the trade that they gave me for the Dolphins pick, I'm like, okay, I'm just like, all right, I'll take that. It was crazy. And I just like, so I had to do it without trades because it was like trades galore.
Yeah. Yeah. And that could happen. I mean, there's so many teams with multiple picks in the first round, right? Like, so I think the Jets, I know the Chiefs, there's quite a few. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens. So we have this on here too. If you win a Super Bowl barrel from Big Red, if you win a Super Bowl the previous year, do you tend to have less draft picks in the bottom of the barrel teams? I don't think so. I think it's all just draft management, right? And so I don't know that there's really a consistent pattern there in any way, shape, or form.
Except to trade back.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, so then John Schneider for Seattle is known. I mean, I think they went 3 years in a row trading out of the first round. I mean, that's just what they have no problem
to pick up extra picks in the last. And
and they do so well. And that depends. How well does your team do with those later rounds? If you do well, then get out of there. And then that will bring your number back up. I expect him to trade back, and Seattle ends up with about.
Well, I would too, especially with the depth of the linemen. Yep. Because I can see so many other teams calling Seattle because you still got some of these good linemen that you really need, centers, cornerbacks. I don't think it's not a big wide receiver class.
And believe it or not,
there's a big fall.
Yeah. After the Super Bowl, usually teams get absolutely robbed from their players after winning a Super Bowl. That did not happen to Seattle. They lost a couple of big ones, but to be honest with you, they brought back, I think, was it 61 of their starters? It was, or their main, players. I think it was 70 of 80 players came back. So, I mean, they really,
you paid JSN, that's for sure.
Yes, they're going to play Witherspoon here pretty soon too, I think. So that'll be interesting. But so I don't know, Big Red. I don't think that there's really a pattern there. I think it just depends on how you've worked your roster throughout the year with trades and trading up those picks and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited for the draft, and we have gone almost an hour. So our chat room is very happy because they know.
Sorry, guys.
Once again, we want to thank Emory Hunt for coming on. The very first time I went back and looked, the very first time Emory ever came on our show was 2014. So he has been coming on for a very long
started
time.
Emory. So we could probably say we started his career.
Well,
we literally did.
No,
we literally did.
I don't think we should go that.
We literally did.
We totally did.
We literally did.
14 or 15. I can't. It was one of those seasons. It was fabulous. So he's such a dear friend, and we love that. So please, once again, follow him on all social media. It's Emory Hunt, EMORY, and get his draft guide. You guys will love it. All right, everybody. We will be back. I don't know when. We will do probably a draft wrap-up show after the draft, the Tuesday after the draft, and then taking I think the month of May off, and then we'll be back in June because everything kind of.
Sonia went with her draft pick. I didn't hear what you wanted.
Oh, so really, this is a filler. Like, I really want them to fill in. I would love for them to. They really could get another guard to kind of push that position a little bit for Seattle. Seattle really probably needs a running back, just one more now since Ken Walker is gone, and Zach Charbonnet was injured in the last game of the season, so he probably won't be back right away at the beginning. So getting a rookie running back would be in there would be good. And then of course you always need depth, I think, in the secondary. So get another cornerback, get another safety somewhere in there. But again, 4 picks right now, so that'll be I don't know. We'll kind of see how that goes. What about you, Lisa? What you want? A quarterback?
I want Drummond McCoy, the cornerback from Tennessee.
Okay.
I do. I like him over Delane from LSU. I'd rather have McCoy from Tennessee.
It's going to be interesting to watch your team this year, Lisa. I'm kind of excited to watch the Dolphins.
I am. I'm excited. I think good change.
All right, everyone. Well, we will see you guys the Tuesday after the draft, and I hope you guys have a great week. Good night, everybody.
Bye.